Yes. Um, so let's start with the third type of stepper motor, which is hybrid stepper motor. Okay. So only keep in mind for all three stepper motors, the construction of stator is similar. There is a small changes in the uh, pole face of stator. Uh, Otherwise, the remaining construction of that stator, that is the number of poles, or generally the structure of poles, the nature of winding connections. So that entire thing is similar for VR motor, VR stepper motor, PM stepper motor, as well as hybrid stepper motor. Okay. Only there is a difference in the rotor constructions. So in simple, we can say that the stepper motor types are generally based on the construction of rotor. If you look towards the rotors of these three different motors, then that rotors are different. That rotors for VR motor, the rotor doesn't consist any sort of winding or permanent magnets. For permanent magnet rotor, the rotor carries permanent magnet on rotor periphery. And hybrid stepper motor, this rotor is very interesting. So that consists two different sets. Okay, we will see this hybrid stepper motor rotor structure. Okay, now this hybrid stepper motor is actually widely used motor in different applications, okay, among the various types of stepper motor. So when we see the practical applications of stepper motor, so these motors are generally used in different robotic applications, in biomedical applications. So we are going to discuss that application fields in detail. But in such various applications, hybrid stepper motors is now widely used among these all types of stepper motor. Basically, this hybrid stepper motor has advantages of both permanent magnet as well as VR stepper motor, and its operation is generally based on combined principle of a permanent magnet and VR stepper motor. Its name is hybrid. Okay, because its operation and advantages, that both are based on simply or that is simple, you can say that combination of a PM and VR stepper motor. Okay, so HSM motor, HSM, that is abbreviation for a hybrid stepper motor. So HSM motor is the best choice for application where small step size or small step angle and high starting torques are essential. So these motors generally use high starting torque. Again, it is possible to uh, run this motor with a very small step angle, uh, in ranging from 1 degree also. So it is possible to move particular motor by 1 degree of angle. And due to such small step angle movement, we generally use this hybrid stepper motor in wide range of applications. Now let us continue this particular bit with the construction. So let's see the construction of hybrid stepper motor. So to understand construction of hybrid stepper motor, here we consider a 5-phase 10-pole hybrid stepper motor with 50 rotor teeth. Okay. Now let us see the 5 phase. Again, 5 phase. 5 phase means how many poles? There are 10 poles on the rotor. So if you look towards the rotor structure, this is the cross sectional view of HSM. So at end cap A, there are 10 rotor poles. Okay, there are 10 rotor poles. Sorry, 10 stator poles. Sorry, there are 10 stator pole, and again two opposite side poles, windings connected to each other in that connected in series, so that there is a formation of phase. So 10 stator poles, that 10 stator poles carries 10 concentric coils. Opposite side coils are connected in series to form a particular phase. So 10 stator poles, that gives 5 phases. Okay. Therefore, motor is of 5 phase. Now rotor is 50 rotor teeth. Rotor consists total 50 teeth on its rotor periphery. Now entire rotor is not a complete structure. It is a laminated, but that consists two different caps. There are two different rotor caps. That means rotor is divided into two caps. We are going to discuss that particular caps rotor structure in detail. So let initially focus on stator structure. So what is stator? Stator is now is of 10 pole stator with subteeths. It is made up of soft iron stamping as usual to VR stepper motor and PM stepper motor. The poles are provided with winding, so there are the concentric winding, and that concentric winding is placed on each rotor pole. These windings are diametrically opposite connected in series. So diametrically opposite pole pairs are connected in series so that there is a formation of phase. So as 10 poles are there, 10 concentric coils are there, diametrically opposite coils are connected in series to form one particular phase. Therefore, 10 pole rotor HSM will gives a 5 phases. Okay, so there are total 5 phases. Now these particular 5 phases are energized with the DC sources with or through semiconductor switching devices. So that semiconductor switching devices are nothing but your simple switches which we use to energize the respective phases. Now at the center of a rotor, an axially magnetized cylindrical permanent magnet is mounted on the shaft. Now this is the constructional difference. So if you look towards the rotor structure, at the center of a rotor, these are the rotor caps. Okay, whatever cap A and cap B which is shown over here, these are the rotor caps. So this is rotor cap A and rotor cap B. But at the center of rotor, there is a axially mounted permanent magnet on a rotor shaft. So one permanent magnet is present or placed on a rotor shaft which is axially mounted. Okay. Now, this permanent magnet generally produced the unipolar magnetic field. The purpose of this magnet is to produce the unipolar magnetic field. So whatever magnetic field which is developed by that permanent magnet, that magnetic field is in unipolar nature. I think you are familiar with unipolar magnetic field and bipolar magnetic field. Okay, so I'm not going to explain that concepts in detail because that are the concepts from physics. So whatever permanent magnet which is present on that rotor, that permanent magnet develop a unipolar magnetic field. Now the stator magnetic field produced by an external excitation is heteropolar. External magnetic field is heteropolar, and the rotor magnetic field is unipolar. Heteropolar because that are 5 phases. For a 5 phase winding, that magnetic field is heteropolar magnetic field. Okay. Now there are two end caps which are made up of a laminated silicon sheet steel which covers the poles of the permanent. Poles of this permanent magnet, the poles of permanent magnets are covered with end caps, and that end caps are made up of a laminated silicon steel. So rotor carry consists these end caps and that are made up of a silicon laminated sheets. So there are two end caps. One end caps is placed on one pole of permanent magnet, another end cap is placed on another pole of permanent magnet. Okay, so if you look this particular motor cross section view from this side, then you will look this particular structure. From this particular side, you will look this side structure, that is end cap B and end cap A. So these particular end caps have 50 teeth on their outer periphery. So whatever these 50 teeth rotor, which I have already told about the construction, that 50 teeth are the total teeth which are present on end cap. So that end cap have total 50 teeth on their outer periphery. So these two rotor stacks are mounted on the shaft in such a way that their teeth are displaced mechanically by half of the tooth pitch in space between each other. This is important. Whatever end caps are there, that two end caps are mounted on shaft in such a way that their teeth are displaced mechanically. So whatever rotor teeth are there, that is rotor teeth for cap A and rotor teeth for cap B, that teeth are displaced mechanically by half of the tooth pitch in space. तो वो डिस्प्लेसमेंट कितना होना चाहिए? हाफ ऑफ द टूथ पिच. Before moving towards this, initially let's see what is means of this tooth pitch. So say suppose this is one rotor tooth. Sorry. This is the second rotor tooth. Now what is tooth pitch? Tooth pitch is the distance between two adjacent rotor measured between its outer edge. So it is the distance measured between outer edge of two adjacent rotor. So this particular distance is generally known as a tooth pitch. Okay, so how these two end caps have stack? So these two rotor stacks are mounted on shaft in such a way that their tooths are displaced mechanically by half of the tooth pitch in space between each other. Means if I say this is suppose tooth of end cap A, rotor tooths for end cap A, rotor tooths for end cap B should be placed in such a way that their teeth should be displaced by half of the tooth pitch. तो यहाँ पे टूथ पिच के 50% में उनका डिस्प्लेसमेंट होना चाहिए. दैट मीन्स वी जनरली प्लेस दैट पर्टिकुलर rotor in this way, that is like this. Okay, so if you look towards this particular displacement, then there is a displacement of 50% of tooth pitch. 50% of tooth pitch. You will find that over here. Here, see, the tooths are displaced by 50% of displacement. Okay, 50% of tooth pitch. So this is the rotor 1, rotor cap A, rotor cap 2. Okay, so if you look towards the teeth position, the teeth are displaced by 50% of tooth pitch. So if here tooth pitch is 24°, placements of rotor stacks are placed in such a way that their space displacement is a 12° from each other. Space displacement is 12° from each other. Okay, so in this way that two rotor stacks are mounted on a rotor shaft. So this is the construction of your hybrid stepper motor. So this is actual cross section view of hybrid stepper motor. Okay, so stator is similar to that as VR and PM stepper motor, that consists of concentric coils. That coils are connected in series to form diametrically opposite, so that there will be formation of phases. The rotor, if you look this particular rotor, that rotor is actually permanent magnet rotor. So in this particular rotor on shaft there is a permanent magnet. So in between these two end caps, if you look there is a permanent magnet. So permanent magnet is fixed on this rotor shaft, and the poles of that particular permanent magnets have stacked with the two end caps. So there is a south end cap and north end cap. So these two end caps consist the equal number of rotor teeth. So whatever number of rotor teeth are there, say for example, we consider 50 rotor teeth. So that 50 rotor teeth are present over these two end caps, that is on south end cap and on north end cap. And these two end caps are stacked on this rotor shaft in such a way that there is a space displacement of 50% of tooth pitch. Okay, so in that space displacement we generally place these two end caps from each other. Okay, so this is the actual view of your hybrid stepper motor. Now let's try to understand the working of this hybrid stepper motor. Now for sake of simplicity, for working we consider only 4-pole motor. 4-pole motor, that means that consists of two phases. So 4-pole 2 phases HSN with a 15 rotor teeth on each rotor section. That is on section A and section B. There are total 15 rotor teeth. So this is the cross-sectional view of a two-phase four-pole HSN. So now two-phase as usual as we discussed in previous two types, two phases with coil side A and A dash which are diametrically connected in series, coil side B and B dash which are connected in series so that there will be formation of two phases. Now there are total 15 poles which are present on this rotor. Okay, so that 15 poles that consist again two caps, two end caps. So let's say rotor 1 cap and rotor 2 cap. So coil wounded on pole A and A dash are connected in series to form phase A. On pole B and B dash that connected in series to form phase B. Now what is tooth pitch here? How to calculate tooth pitch? So generally we calculate tooth pitch by dividing 360 degree by number of rotor teeth. So here number of rotor teeth are 15. So 15 360 divided by 15. So tooth pitch is equal to 24 degree. Okay. And what is step angle for this particular motor? We have already seen this step angle formula, how to determine this step angle in second lecture of stepper motor. So we generally calculate step angle by 360 divided by, now this product is 60, so that step angle for this case is now 6 degree. Okay, so here step angle is 6 degree and tooth pitch is 24 degree. Now permanent magnet is assumed to be mounted on the shaft in such a way that the teeth of rotor ones are magnetized with south pole and those of rotor 2 are magnetized with north pole. So whatever permanent magnet is placed on the rotor, that permanent magnet will magnetize teeth of rotor 1 with south pole and teeth of rotor 2 with a north pole. How, why that teeth get magnetized? Because as I have already told that rotor stacks are placed on permanent magnet poles. So when we place that rotor stacks on permanent magnet pole, definitely that rotor stack get energized. So whatever rotor stack which is placed on n pole of permanent magnet, that will get energized with north pole, and the another pole stack, another rotor stack get energized with the south pole. So here we place that permanent magnet, or we place that rotor stack on that permanent magnet in such a way that rotor 1 is energized with south pole, rotor 2 is energized with north pole. Now this is the switching circuit. So here are two phases. Okay, two phases. Now we use these 8 switches to achieve that mode of operation. So this is the switching circuit. So this switching circuit consists total 8 switches and these two coils A and A dash for phase A and B dash for phase B. That coils are excited through this DC supply, sorry, by this DC supply through this switching circuits. So we will discuss the operation using operation of this particular switching circuit during working. Okay. Now let initially consider switch S1 and S6 are in on position and due to this coil A is in energized condition. So initially switch S1 and S2, S6, these two switches are in on condition. So if switch S1 and S6 are in on condition, definitely coil A and A dash, that coil is in energized condition. At the same time, B and B dash, this is in de-energized condition because that does not carries any current. So due to S1 X6 in on position, phase A is excited and this will makes pole A magnetized with north and A dash with south. Okay, because directions of current. So that directions of current, yeah, if you trace the directions of current, the current will flows in this particular direction. Okay, so here the phase A is excited or phase A is magnetized with north, A dash is with south. and this will create attraction of certain rotor teeth of rotor 1 in forward pole A and few rotor teeth of rotor 2 in pole A dash towards pole A dash, and that will move rotor by 6 degree in clockwise direction. Yeah. So here if you look towards this rotor position development diagram, then here these are the stator poles, stator substrates for phase A, coil A, B, A dash and B dash. So this is the initial position of a rotor where rotor 1 and rotor 2, that both rotors are placed at half of the rotor teeth to each other. When we excite coil A, under this particular case, some of the rotor poles which are under A coil side get attracted towards A, and some of the rotor poles which are of rotor 2 get attracted towards A dash. And due to this, rotor will move in clockwise direction, that is say in forward direction, by a step angle of 6 degree. Now, once the rotor moves by step angle of 6 degree in forward direction, now next switching sequence is we have to now close switch S3 and S8. That means we have to switch off S1 and S6 and switch on S3 and S8. So when we switch on S3 and S8, S3 and S8, at that time coil B and B dash get energized, and due to this B and B dash energization, the magnetic poles will form on coil B and B dash, that is north pole on B and south pole on B dash. So again, rotor teeth move by 6 degree and stay in position as shown over here. So again, there is a movement of rotor poles by 6 degree in forward direction. So in C here if you look towards this particular case, the rotor are move in forward direction by 6 degree. Okay, so this is the actual 6 degree movement of rotor in forward direction. Now when we excite coil B and B dash by closing 3 and 8, by closing switch 3 and 8, then again there is a 6 degree forward direction of forward movement of rotor takes place in clockwise direction, and rotor will move by 12 degree. Okay, rotor will move by 12 degree from its initial position. Again we have to uh, carry next switching operation. That means in third switching operation, now we switch off switch S3 and S8 and we switch on switch S4 and S7. So when we switch S4 and S7, there is a energization of coil A and A dash takes place, but here A dash is energized with south pole and A is energized with north pole. Okay, A dash is energized with south pole and A is energized with north pole, and that will again achieve 6 degree movement of a rotor in clockwise direction. So in this way, with this different switching sequence, we can achieve forward movement or clockwise movement of rotor by 6 degree from its initial position. Okay, so similarly, two-phase on mode, half step mode, or half step mode, that is nothing but actually 2-1-2-1 switching mode is also possible for hybrid stepper motor. Okay, but in detail that much part is not in your syllabus. So this is about the hybrid stepper motor. So there are two important advantages of hybrid stepper motor. The first important advantage of hybrid stepper motor is this motor is used for high starting torque. Generally, this motor gives high starting torque. And second important advantage is using this particular motor, a smaller step angle is possible. That means we use this motor for a small step angle. That is for 1 degree of step angle also. So this much small step angle is possible. So simply, if we require small step angle, we have to increase number of teeth which are present on rotor periphery. Okay, so this is about hybrid stepper motor. So here we have completed the construction working of three different types of stepper motor, that is VR stepper motor, hybrid stepper motor, and permanent magnet stepper motor. Now let's see different applications of this stepper motor. So what are the different applications of stepper motor? So as compared with other electrical drives, stepper motor generally used for various special applications. It generally has significant advantages a non-cumulative position error. Open loop control is very simple. Its compatibility with the digital equipment. So due to these advantages, in various application domains, now these stepper motors are widely used. Actually, whatever functions which are carried by stepper motor, same functions can be possible with a servo motors also. But there are certain limitations of servo motors in practical applications. So in recent applications, due to development in these semiconductor technologies, rather than using servo motors, now stepper motors are widely used. Okay, because semiconductor technologies are now developing. Also, there is a development in digital controllers. So it is possible to control that stepper motor using that digital controller. We are going to discuss that control strategies of stepper motor in detail. So due to these various control strategies and fast switching semiconductor technologies, the stepper motors are widely used in various applications. So some of the applications are mentioned over here. So stepper motors are extensively used in computer peripherals and office machines. Okay, so the example is printer. So in printer, graph plotter, floppy or hard disk drive, stepper motors are generally used. So whatever printers which are used in different applications, that printers are generally operated by stepper motor. Then graph plotters are there. Okay, that graph plotters are generally, graph plotter also consists stepper motor. Then your hard disk drive, which is present in computer peripherals, that hard disk drive is also hard disk drives also consist stepper motor. Also in dot matrix line printers, there is a stepper motor used. Office equipments like okay, sorry, office equipments is equipments like photocopier machines, that is your photocopy machines. That photocopy machines uses stepper motor. Next, in automobiles, the stepper motors are widely used for mechanized operations like closing and opening of glass windows. Okay, or door latching, then a wiper movement. So for all these particular applications, now stepper motors are used in recent automobiles. Then another application areas of stepper motors are timepieces. That is, tiny stepper motors are used in wristwatch. So whatever wristwatch we use, so in that particular wristwatch, a very tiny stepper motors can be used. Then synchronized clocks in railway platforms, factories, office buildings uses a stepper motor. So whatever synchronized clocks are there, then that synchronized clocks also consist a stepper motor. Stepper motors also used in sorry. Okay, so there are certain important features of these stepper motors like a fast response, high torque, and exact positioning in open loop control mode. We are going to discuss this open loop control mode in detail. So for this particular, due to these particular features, this stepper motor is suitable for the machine tool applications. So in various machine tool applications, these stepper motors are widely used. The example is simple milling machines. So in milling machines, where three motors are used independently to sense the position of X, Y, Z directions. Okay, so in X-axis, Y-axis, and Z-axis directions, these three different stepper motors are independently used, and using that three stepper motors, we can sense the directions. Okay, similar kind of applications or large areas of applications are there for stepper motors, like animation effect in cameras. We generally use a stepper motor. Then the tangential drives for moving the film. That tangential drives also use a stepper motor. Okay. Then different semiconductor technologies is also another field of application of stepper motors. So stepper motor generally made a special material and having certain constructional features are used in high vacuums in semiconductor industries. Okay, so one example is goniometer. So that goniometer is used to determine the structure of crystal, and that goniometer generally uses a stepper motor. Then electron beam microfabricators, which is used for a mass fabrication of large scale ICs. Okay, so that microfabricator generally uses a stepper motor. Then also stepper motor is used in X-ray scanning machines. Okay, so in simple, the application where we required a stepwise movement of any object under all that particular sort of under all that particular application, we use this particular stepper motor uh, without using any conventional motor. So in most of the applications now, the conventional servo motors which are used for these stepwise movement applications are now replaced with this stepper motor due to its various features and development in the semiconductor technologies. So there are a lot of advantages of the stepper motor over conventional servo motors, and therefore we replace that servo motors by stepper motors. So you will find different application areas of these stepper motors in medical fields also, that is in dispense pumps, then chromatograph injectors, chromatograph auto injectors, then digital dental photography, X-ray machine, ultrasound scanners, radiation therapy units, blood analysis machinery, respirators. So in these different medical field appliances, we use this stepper motor. Okay. So the basic reason is for all these particular appliances, it is necessary to sense the accurate position, and accurate positioning is very essential. And that accurate positioning is possible by a stepper motor. Now in satellites and space vehicles also, these stepper motors are widely used. Okay, so in most of these said applications, hybrid stepper motors are used because there are certain advantages of this hybrid stepper motor over permanent magnet stepper motor and VR stepper motor. Okay. So short note may be asked for 5 marks. Give different application areas of stepper motor. So if such type of notes is there, you have to enlist any 5 to 8 applications from this. Okay. Yeah. So that is about the hybrid stepper motor and different application domains of stepper motor.